Regarding investment, it would appear that operators have at least two options. The first involves prioritizing 5G investments with the hope of accelerating the commercial prospects. The second involves a more conservative approach in which they delay 5G investments as long as possible, whilst existing networks are used and upgraded. Even if operators delay 5G investments, they will need to increase infrastructure spending to cope with the growing traffic. There's no reason to believe that the historical increase of 20 to 50% per year in data and voice is going to change. However, they could fall on the higher end of that scale, which could affect investment intensity. Mobile operators will need to develop strategies for 5G to cope with this expected growth in network costs. Standard measures will involve cost-saving efforts, but they'll also need to explore more alternative approaches, such as network sharing or the joint building of new 5G networks and new revenue models. Many elements of current 5G technology build on 4G networks, rather than representing a complete departure. And that means mobile operators can take an evolutionary approach to infrastructure investment. For instance, operators could begin by upgrading the capacity of the existing 4G macro network by refarming a portion of their 2G and 3G spectrum, or by acquiring additional spectrum when it is available. This way, they can delay investments in 5G by evolving to LTE and LTE Pro features. This evolutionary approach will be the natural path for most operators, and it's going to allow them to minimize investments while the incremental revenue potential of 5G remains uncertain. When network upgrades are no longer sufficient to support increased traffic, operators will need to build new macro sites or small cells that are 5G dependent. That point in time will vary by location, but simulations show that most operators will need to embark on significant new build-out between 2020 and 2025. That shift will be the primary driver behind network cost increases and increased investment in 5G.